Hi all. Okay, I want to put the plow on the truck here. We're only supposed to get an inch or less, but one report said up to 12. So it's no fun putting this on when everything's full of snow. I did that one year, and no pain. So the reason why I'm doing this video again is I figured out an easier way to put it on. Mainly is this board here. I got that set up to where it's the same level when I take it off. It might drop just a hair, but that makes it a lot easier putting it back on when it's the same level. And it seems to work great. I put it off and on twice this year already, and works great. So the front too, I got the front up. Yeah, I built that little cement platform there at the bottom. It's only sitting on the surface of the ground. It doesn't go down deep. And then I had put those pipes in. I put 2 pipes in. I was thinking I could push that board there back and forth so I could line it up. So I could line up the plow when I put it on. See those little hooks there. Those hooks right there got to go around that pole. So you got some leeway here. You know, if you hit this here, it'll slide in. But in general, you got to get it right on. I think with most newer plows, they're putting them on wheels. They're putting the plows on wheels so you can push it around. It makes it easier to line up. But I don't have a flat surface here, so that wouldn't help me. So it's just a matter of backing in, backing out 100 times until you get it lined up. It usually takes 3-4 tries. You got to come in on it straight too. You can't like back up a couple feet and then turn the wheels and come in, because then these 2 things in the front are hitting the plow crooked, and that won't work either. So you have to back up far and then come in on the plow perfectly straight, or as straight as possible, or it's a real pain to put on if you approach it crooked. I've done it. It's no fun. So it's a lot easier to back up 10-20 times until you get it right, and then once you get it lined up right, it goes on real easy. Now that I got this, I used to do it with the jack, and just the jack works great, but you know, those 4 jacks are pretty heavy. They're probably like 50 pounds, and I got to slide it up under there in the gravel. So that's why I thought if I just do it like this, it works great. So that's why I thought if I just do it like this, it works great. I use this board here on the light bar, so it brings the light bar back, and then that brings everything in line so I can put it on. Okay, so let's get started. This thing's kind of hard to manhandle. Just kind of grab it and push it with your shoulder. Usually knocks the lights out of alignment. Every time I put it on, I got them tightened up against my push. They always move. pretty close. Kind of got lucky this time. Get out and look. So I'm over that way about 4 inches. I could probably push it a little bit, you know, with the steel bar, but then it would be crooked. One side would go on and the other side wouldn't. And I have to be careful. If I push it up too far, it falls off the board. And then I got a real mess. That looks pretty good. Okay, so that looks pretty good. See how this is lined up with this here. Now those hooks gotta hit that bar. These hooks gotta hit that bar right here. So it looks like it's lined up pretty good. I might still have to jack it up some. We'll see how it goes. It looks like it's at the right height. Where that hook right there is going into that bar down there. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. So this thing has to go in. It goes through the slot. So sometimes it pops in, but usually it's just a little off. You can see it's just a little off. So you just got to push on this a little bit. So in order to get that to go in the rest of the way, usually you just push on this a little bit, just push it back towards the truck, and that'll usually pop in if it's lined up correctly. Okay, cool. Now go over and do the same thing on the other side. See how that handle is sticking out? I just have to twist it a little bit. Okay, it popped in most of the way. When I bought it, this handle was broke. They probably hammered it, trying to. They probably hammered it, trying to get it in and out. I bought a new one off eBay. So instead of hammering it, just push up on this a little bit. Just put your shoulder into the pipe. Cool. So see, once you get it lined up, it goes on real easy because of that board. That board's got it sitting at the right level, up and down. You know, I don't have to jack it. I was using a floor jack, but a scissors jack would be a lot easier, be a lot lighter, would do the same thing. And jack it up back here, not up there. If you jack it up back there, the whole truck goes up. But if you jack it up back here, back where this little A-frame is, back in here, then just the plow goes up. Okay, so now we have to hook up the wire. Yeah. Okay, so this is another one of my contraptions. I was just sticking a 2x4 in there, but you bump it just a little bit, it would fall out. So I just made this up a couple weeks ago. This end goes around the plow light bar, and then this end just sits on the plow, and that usually puts it at the right angle. That was actually the first time I used it, and it worked great. The plug cap broke on this a couple years ago. I figure it's like 20 years old, close to it, and just the cover, not even the plug, just the cover is like 70 bucks. So I glued it back together with Gorilla Glue, and then I put this cover on it, so it was out of the sun and rain and stuff like that. Other than that, the wire still works great. Okay, so I'm going to put some dielectric grease on it. It's for electrical components. If it'll come out of the can, this can's getting pretty old. See if I can get one more shot out of it, huh? Just barely. But it's working. I think I need another can. This cover is kind of a pain in the butt, but it does a good job. I got an aluminum wire here to hold it on. Okay, so the plug just goes on here. This thing goes on top. Then there's a little catch on the bottom of the cap that catches that. And that's all they have on it to hold it in. But I figure since that cap is weak, because this part all cracked up, that's why I got that wire. And there just happens to be a hole here, so I stick the wire through the hole. I don't wire it down. I don't wrap it up tight. Just a little bit to hold it on. In case it gets pulled apart, it can still pull apart. Okay. And then I put these lights on the top of the light bar here. That's where these come in here. That can is done. Okay. See that second plug is what I put on. That second plug goes to these lights here. I think I did a video on those when I put them on. Okay, so here's the plow controller. That just plugs into that plug there. Plug there. I bought a couple old ones off eBay, so I got plenty of spares. I think the one that come with the truck was going bad. It seemed like it was hit and miss. It didn't want to work right. So I bought one new one, one old one. So here's the moment of truth. We turn the power on and see if it works. Okay, so it lit up. So power's on. We'll press the up button and see if it goes up. Okay, it went up. Down. Up. Down. Okay, so we're all set. We're all set for the snowstorm. And then the plow has to be in four-wheel drive. So let's see here. I got some directions here. This come out of the manual. We're in two-wheel drive now. See here, we're in two-wheel drive now. Most of the time you use 4x4 high, and I think real heavy stuff you do 4x4 low. So 9 times out of 10, 4x4 high. So top one here, it says shifting from 2-wheel drive to 4x4 high. Rotate the knob to 4x4 high position at speeds up to 55 miles per hour. The electronic shift 4-wheel drive system is designed to engage 4x4 high when the vehicle is moving. If shifted to 4x4 high when at complete stop, 4x4 may not engage and the indicator may not illuminate until the vehicle is driven about 5 miles per hour. 4x4 may not engage and the 4x4 indicator may not illuminate until the vehicle is driven about 5 miles per hour. So what they're talking about is when you turn that to 4x4 high, over here on the dash you'll see a little light. So you can see there's no light on there now. So I'll turn this on here. And you can see I got this little light here that says 4x4 high. So I'm not sure if it's actually on now or until I start moving they finally kick in. But I go ahead and turn it on now so I don't forget. I've tried driving it around with the plow, just going back and forth through snow in 2-wheel drive, and I found that don't work. You know, as long as the road is level and no snow on it, it shall move. But I hit main intersection here in town, and just a light covering of snow, and just a little bit uphill, and the plow wouldn't move. So here I'm stuck in the middle of a highway. The wheel's just spinning. So ever since then, as soon as I put the plow on, I put it in 4x4 high. So I did a whole video on snow plow on a driveway. I talk about 4x4 high, 4x4 low. And I got a few comments down below. And I think the manual said when you do a driveway, use 4x4 low. But a few fellows commented, said don't use 4x4 low. So you might want to go back and check out that video. You know, it's up to you who you want to believe, the manual or the people that actually use it. So I think they said 4x4 low puts too much tension on that bar down below that spins around, you know, that makes the wheels move. I'm not a mechanic. I don't remember what that's called, but it's that big bar that goes from the front to the back that spins the wheels. The drive system. Okay. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show you. Or first, I always keep this in the truck because I don't use it that much, so I forget how to shift it. So I just stick it up here. That way I don't forget. What I wanted to show you was, before I turn off the truck, I put the plow in float mode. Just press the down button, and you can see that light turn blue. So now the plow is in float mode. So it floats over uneven surfaces when you plow, like if you're doing a parking lot or a driveway. I always thought it would be good to use float mode for doing a driveway, but one fella, I read some comments, and he said don't use float mode because it doesn't scrape up the hard pack. It just kind of floats over it. So you may not always want to use float mode. That's like a personal preference or a guesstimate, I guess, you know. So. But before I turn off the truck, I put it in float mode. And then I come out here. See, when it's in float mode, you can push. When it's in float mode, you can push this down, and that takes the tension off the chain. Because I figure these chains are getting pretty old, and I just can't swap them out. They're welded on. I was going to put some chains on, but that's all welded up at the bottom. So figure that's the next best thing. Only put the tension on when I need it. And then I put these on. These are wrapped around the plow, and then I lock them on here. I leave them hang. They don't seem to get in the way. Of course, when I lock them on, they sit just a little higher. But I mainly started doing that because I read that they'll steal your plow right from the parking lot at the store. That's why you'll go to the store, you'll see people leave the plow sitting up. You know, they won't put the plow down to the ground because it makes it easier to steal. So it's always best to leave the plow down on the ground, take tension off the truck. So while the plow's down, I just chain it up. That slows them down a little bit. And don't forget to put your little beeper light up on top too. That's state law. When I first got the truck, I called state police. I asked them if there's any laws I need to know about. And he said the only thing is you got to have that little blinking light up on top. Even a cheap one is fine. And the plow can't be any wider than 8 feet. Okay, so that's an 8-foot plow. So I can't even put wings on it because then it won't be legal. Okay, see ya. Bye.